Dr. Ashish Shah, who's the head of Harvard's Global Health Institute, says that the key to getting this economy open as soon as possible is to test everyone who needs testing so we can quarantine all infected individuals and allow everyone else to go back to work immediately. Would you subscribe to that strategy?
No, but we have tested more than anybody. I saw him.
And if not, how many deaths are acceptable?
Yeah. How many? None. Okay. How many deaths are acceptable to me? None. Okay, none, if that's your question. Look, I saw him. I saw his statement. We have tested by far more than anybody. We're testing more than anybody right now. There's nobody even close. And our tests are the best tests. They're the most accurate tests. But if you're saying we're going to test 350 million people, I watched his statement. I disagree with it. We can go to certain states. I could name them now, but I'm not going to do that. But we can go to certain states right now that have virtually no problem or a very small problem. We don't have to test the entire state in the Middle West or wherever they may be.
Notice the way that the reporter here does exactly what you've been seeing from the left and from the Democrat activists and social media blue check journo brigades, the hive mind of the progressives in this country online. Notice the framing of this here, that if you send people back to work, you're sending some people to die. How many deaths is acceptable to you, sir? Look, I got caught in this early in the week when I was just saying at some point we will, I'm speaking in reality. I'm speaking the truth. At some point we are going to have to, and everyone kind of knows this, start sending some, not all, people back to work. And that will come with some elevated risk of infection. Standing around and saying how many deaths is acceptable is absolutely disgusting. It's stupid. It's childish. No one wants anyone to die. But what is the alternative? Lockdown for 6 months? Lockdown for 12 months? What do you think the country looks like then? Nobody will say this. They just want to play little childish virtue signaling games. Nobody will tell the truth about this on the left right now because they have two things going for them. Catastrophe, fear. Well, I'm going to say three things now. Catastrophe, fear, and destroying the Trump administration. All of these things they can exploit at once. This is what's going on. People are frightened, so they'll listen to all the fear mongering. And the more frightened they are, the more capable the media is of convincing them that Trump has done they thought, I'll get to this, they're actually wrong because the polls show people think Trump is doing a pretty good job. But this is where we are now. That's the media. I mean, the media is asking the president how many deaths are acceptable. Would you ask, I mean, just think about this in another context. Would you stand up there and ask the commander in chief, you've just ordered soldiers into action. How many of their deaths are acceptable to you? Well, I mean, we don't want any soldiers to die, but we've, as commander in chief, if the commander has actually made that decision to send them into battle, of course there is a risk, and all the warriors, and God bless you and thank you, who listen to this show know exactly what I'm talking about. They understand there's a risk, right? I was sat down by the guy who ran my office in the CIA the first time I went to Iraq, and he's like, look, it's unlikely, you're going to be doing analysis work. Maybe, you'll get outside the wire here and there, but he says, I just want you to know, and I would feel badly if I hadn't told you this, if I have to be the one who calls your parents, because he was going to be the one who would. You could die doing this. There's a not insignificant possibility of you being severely injured or dying doing this, and I just need to tell you that. And I said, all right, well, this is what I signed up for, right? And it was a much lesser risk than a lot of you who are out there door kicking and patrolling the streets, a fraction of the risk. But it still was necessary to tell me you could die. Now, why play this game as though it's a gotcha? How many deaths, President Trump, are acceptable to you? 0 deaths are acceptable. How many lives ruined? How many millions and millions of American families dragged into destitution and despair because we think that it's better to do just a total lockdown, as though we are facing a zombie pandemic that is destroying the world. We are not. That's not happening. This is why Trump is saying, let's not let the cure be worse than the disease. This is why Dr. Ioannidis, Ioannidis, I'm sorry, I don't know how to pronounce his name, but close enough. The smart guy at Stanford Medical School, that guy. This is why he's saying we don't want to be the elephant that in trying to escape the angry house cat that's scratching it falls off a cliff. That's all that people like me are trying to establish here. Because the amount of fear propaganda out there, I guess, nobody should go outside. Nobody should do anything. And why should people who are in the public health field? I mean, oh my gosh, I know that they're frightened with understandable reasoning here. But why would they even go and do their jobs if we're all just going to get this anyway? Right? I mean, why would they even continue to show up for work if the world is actually ending? I mean, the amount of anxiety and panic that is being induced right now is counterproductive across the board.
Hey, Team Buck, thank you so much for watching The First on YouTube. If you like this video, please click that little thumbs up button so then it will log as liked. And also, if you want to see more great content from The First, please click subscribe.